So 6 minutes to go in this one. Central Catholic down 8. Plenty of time, but you got to get going starting about right now.
Got to get going. Got to attack the rim. You can. Again, you have 6 minutes, 5:58, so an eternity, but attack the rim, and more importantly, attack that offensive glass.
Overton in the corner, hit a 3 from there in the third. Has to bring it back outside. Cross is another one you got to be aware of. He can shoot the 3. There's Norrells. Kicks it back out for Cross off the head fake. Norrells to the drive. Athletic shot inside. Rogers to the defensive rebound, and Nelson.
And that's what's so successful right here for the Rams. You have Nelson right in the middle. He's just covering up any, make a bad pass there.
Tough pass as Overton takes it away. But look at Rogers able to get back on defense.
Great transition defense for sure.
Central Catholic having trouble locating the shot. They go to Alls, and that's a big one. It's a 3-pointer. And they get the lead down to about 5.
2-possession ball game now.
6 for Alls. Wyatt penetrating. Foul before the shot.
Well, that's going to be 4 on Overton, I think.
Irish foul number 23.
That is exactly what it is. And once again, Central Catholic over the limit, so Rogers back to the free throw line.
And so here's, free throw shooting wins and loses ball games. Rogers has an opportunity to extend leads.
Etan Wyatt 0 for 1 from the free throw line. His scoring way down today compared to his usual average, but he has done a good job of setting up the offense. He's not able to hit the free throw. Norrells back for Central Catholic. Here's a 3 from Overton, and that goes down.
Don't look now, but we've got a ball game. 2-point, 31-33.
My goodness gracious, 4.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The Rams are up by double figures, but that lead has been cut to 2. And a timeout has been called by Keaton Wyatt. He wants to figure things out. His team only up 2 with 4.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Rogers had a big lead. Central Catholic slowly but surely has climbed back in. It's down to a 2-point lead as we come across the 4-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Rogers has struggled to score offensively here in the fourth. And away from the ball, an illegal screen. We're going the other way.
Nelson got himself tangled up there with that screen. They got him for an illegal screen in that situation. So Central Catholic opportunity with the basketball to take a lead or tie it. Now, here's the difference is Central has really stepped up the defense and just given Rogers all kinds of fit, not letting them do anything without ease.
They go inside. Norrells for the tie. He's got it. How long has it been since this game has been tied? You have to go all the way back to the second quarter, the last time these two teams were knotted up. Hayward being bumped. He'll drive to the basket. The floater won't go, and an over the back going to be called against Rogers.
That's Nelson.
And if it is, which it is, that is number 4. That's a big one.
It sure is, but 3:38, I think you got to let him roll here. Tie ball game. He's going to have to be very smart here on the defensive end, not pick up a cheapie, and that's tough because he's a shot blocker, and shot blockers have tendencies to foul. Central Catholic showing the basketball, get him in the air.
That was the 8th team foul against Rogers. So John Zell Norrells will go to the free throw line with a chance to give Central Catholic the lead. And he hits the first one. He's 3 of 5 from the line tonight. 7 now in the game for Norrells. Second one up is good. Clutch free throw shooting from the 6-foot junior point guard. 3.5 to go in this game. Irish, a 2-point lead. They look to post up Nelson against Norrells. Nelson with the height advantage.
Yeah, he's got to take Norrells down on the block and post him up. Norrells very strong, but he's given up so many inches down there.
Wyatt played by Cross, goes for the crossover. Kicks it out, Hayward for 3. Just short. Norrell's the offensive rebound. Central Catholic pushing. Overton will try the three. Well, that would have been a backbreaker, but instead here comes Rogers. Wyatt going behind the back, a little out of control. It's on the ground. It's a tie-up, and Central Catholic is going to get it back. But first, someone's got to give up the ball.
Neither team wanting to give up that basketball. Jump ball, Irish possession.
Excellent hustle by both teams. You can see how bad each team wants it. And again, the winner of this one plays Northview on Friday.
You see Coach Floyd taking a timeout here. He's a full timeout, going to kind of get this offense in order.
35-33, Irish on top with under 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. 35-33, Central Catholic up on Rogers here in the fourth quarter. Take a look at this. Central Catholic has outscored the Rams 10-1 here in the fourth. Not a good time for Rogers to go cold.
And this cold streak is really carried over from that third quarter as well. So, you know, situation where Coach Floyd called timeout. He had Overton taking kind of an ill-advised three-pointer. You have the lead now, time and possession. Now get back to what you do. Work the basketball for a good shot here.
John Wyatt's team has led for a huge chunk of this game. Now find themselves in trouble as Central Catholic brings it up.
Well, that's an interesting point here. See, how long can Rogers sit back here and allow Central just to hold the basketball?
This press has been problematic for Central Catholic all game, or at least until the end of the third quarter. The Irish finally figuring out ways to break it.
You see, Rogers going to have to step a second defender out here to stop these two from throwing it back and forth.
Look at Central Catholic. This is their brand of basketball, slowing it down, locating a good shot. Is the crowd getting restless? Norrell's dribbling in the corner. Overton wants this three, has the three!
That's a big one there. Penetration by Norrell, found Overton with his hands and feet set, knocked it down.
He's now got 14, and that lead for Central Catholic up to 5. 2 minutes to play here in this fourth quarter. They go inside for Nelson. He turns and hits.
Deshaun Nelson.
Big shot for Deshaun Nelson. He's got 15. And a quick timeout, just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. The Central Catholic Fighting Irish a 38-35 lead as we take a look at how they're able to break down this zone.
You know, anytime you make a defense that is a zone defense extend like that, if you can beat that initial trap as Knowles did, great strength to penetrate. They got to help on his penetration. Overton with his hands and feet set, knocked the shot down.
All right, coaching question for you. You just called that timeout. You told him no threes. He comes back then and shoots a three. What do you say to him?
Well, yeah, I don't think it was a no-three situation. That was a controlled three there. That was penetration. He had his hands and feet set. That's a great shot. However, the last one, he's dribbling down, fast break, full speed, guy in his face, two different threes.
So big difference. And the fact he made the shot, too.
Well, right.
That certainly helps the situation.
Anytime it goes in, it's a great shot, right?
Absolutely. Minute 50 to go here in this Division I sectional semifinal game. Central Catholic and Rogers. The Irish up 3 after coming back from double figures in the second half.
You see Rogers extend a little 1-3-1, going to trap right there in the half court, and they got him.
Overton in trouble, and a timeout called by Central Catholic. It's just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here.
Rogers got exactly what they wanted out of that 1-3-1 half court trap there. You know, it's like, it's amazing. There's like an invisible glass wall that kids get across half court and just stop there in that beautiful trapping zone. Coach Floyd able to call a timeout before the trap got to him.
Timeout situations, both teams with 2. That's something we'll keep an eye on down the stretch the rest of the way. How impressed with you are you with Central Catholic? They never really panicked, even though they were down by double figures in the second half.
Well, you know, an interesting thing, though, Coach Floyd puts his starters all down on the bench. And it was an eye-opener for them. They came out with different energy. They came out with different intensity. They attacked the glass. You know, it's just that little bit of a focus, and that, you know, kudos to Coach Floyd stepping in there and saying, all right, take a second and think about this.
41 to go here, fourth quarter. Irish 3-point lead. They've got the basketball. Rogers, again, has been kept in check here in this fourth quarter. They're going to need a turnover and then a bucket. Marshall back outside for Alls.
And Kersjack is going to have to step up there in that high post and take away Marshall.
At one point, do you foul to get the ball away from them? Oh, they go down inside and a turnover. Nearly a turnover. Yes, there it is. Out of bounds to Rogers.
Well, they're going to give it back to you. You don't have to foul there. So, you know, it's a one possession ball game. You still continue to try to get a foul.
So 1:15 to play now. Rogers a chance to tie. The three-point shot has not been there in this second half. Nelson posting up against Norrells. Turns. Offensive foul. And that is number 5 on Nelson.
He's got to keep his head here so he doesn't pick up a technical.
He's going to have to sit. What do you think about the call?
You know, it's one of those situations. He created space by dunking his shoulder there, and that's the difference. If he just squares it up and doesn't duck that shoulder, probably gets away with that one.
He's upset. He gets the feeling that this game is slipping away and there's really nothing he can do about it.
You know, the difference was in that situation there is he tried to do too much. You know, if you catch the ball on the block in that situation, you go to work. But he, you know, Norrells was able to force him off the block there where you're kind of in no man's land.
Under a minute to play here in the fourth quarter. Irish a three-point lead in the basketball. Again, the pressure from Rogers. Central Catholic in trouble. Cole double up in the corner, and this forces Coach Floyd to use another timeout. You trap him in the corner, it's a full timeout. We'll take a break. Central Catholic up 3 late here in the fourth. 46.6 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Central Catholic the lead and the basketball. At some point, Rogers is going to have to foul and put the Irish on the line.
And overall, Irish pretty good free throw shooter, so they could ice it. But you got to go hard for a steal. If you don't get it, you got to get a foul.
All's doubled up, and there is the foul. So this will be free throws for Central Catholic. Foul is on Devontae Fitzpatrick, his first, and the team's 10th. So 2 free throw shots here coming for Cameron Owls, who's an 82% free throw shooter on the season.
For Central, that's definitely who you want at the line as the season goes. Been very clutch at the line for him.
Knocks down the first free throw. Boy, how clutch and how cool has Central Catholic been here in this second half. Facing a lead of double figures, they never panicked. Said they just got together and rallied.
Well, they sure did. You know, those guys came off the bench and gave a little bit of a spurt, but then the starters came back and played with a different intensity, a different mission.
8 now for Alls. Lead up to 5 for Central Catholic. Time running out for Rogers. 30 seconds to go. Wyatt will try the 3, and it goes down. Well, just when you think this one's over, Central Catholic, or Rogers, comes back with a 3. It's a timeout. 26 seconds to go. We'll take a break. Rogers not done yet. Under 30 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter, Division I sectional semifinal game. Rogers down 2. At some point, they're going to have to foul. Near turnover. It's picked back up by Alls in the corner, and now he finally is fouled. Boy, that could have been very bad for Central Catholic.
Norrells got very, very lucky. Again, crossing half court. The rule that you typically have here, if you're going to cross half court, you got to be able to get yourself below the volleyball line towards the three-point line. Otherwise, get to half court and reverse it. Got lucky there, left his feet. Alls was able to come up with a basketball.
Got 8 on the night. Needs 2 more to make it a 4-point game. But he misses the first free throw.
Double bonus.
Buckle up, folks. 13 seconds to go. Rogers 1 timeout. Central Catholic 1 timeout. First, Rogers needs to get this basketball back if it's a miss. He makes the second one. 13 seconds to go. No timeout from Keaton Wyatt. Here's his son, Keaton Jr., down 3, and there is the timeout called by Rogers. Down 3, 8 seconds to go in this one. If you're Keaton Wyatt Sr., what are you telling your team right now?
Well, he's got to design some play. It's going to be the sideline out of bounds here. I'm guessing he's going to have a screening situation where Keaton's coming off a screen here. All right. Now, situation is Central is going to, as you see, three-point percentages there. Obviously, they need a three-pointer here to tie it. Central's going to be switching hard on all the screens, so you can look to set, the person setting the screen is the second three-point shooter. So if they switch hard, that person steps back to the basketball. So be interested to see what they draw up here.
Wow, what a game this has been. Central Catholic took an early 7-0 lead, then they went cold. Rogers took a 20-14 lead into the locker room. They led by 7 after 3, and that lead in the third extended well into double figures, up by as many as 17. Central Catholic went to their bench. That sparked the starters, and that's where we are right now.
I mean, it was truly a situation where if this were the only game, folks were going to start heading to the exits. I mean, it just looked like Central had no answer for anything that Rogers was going to do, but battled back, and they got it done on the defensive end and completely stymied the Rogers Rams.
Fitzpatrick will inbound the basketball. 8 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Rogers down 3.
Rogers no timeouts left here, so they got to get the ball in bounds.
But they know it. They got to get it in bounds, and they got a 5-second violation. Fitzpatrick hesitated, and then he hesitated some more, and it cost him. The 11th turnover of the game for Rogers, and it couldn't come at a worse time.
Boy, oh boy, you got to get a steal here. You got to return the favor of a 5-second call. Coach Floyd going to set a play up here.
Final timeout of the game for Central Catholic.
My, oh my, oh my.
It's a full timeout. We will keep it right here. If you're Central Catholic, the first thing you want to do, just make sure you inbound the basketball. That's the first priority.
Well, and that was the interesting part there. Rogers didn't have any good screeners coming to the basketball. They had some screens on the backside, but the pass that they would have to make off of those screens was a super long pass, which could easily be stolen.
Either that or in the corner. That was the other one.
Yeah, so you got to have guys coming to the basketball here. So, you know, Coach Floyd setting up his best out-of-bounds play to get the ball in bounds, preferably to Cameron Alls because he's your best free throw shooter.
If you're Rogers right now, you're down 3. You don't want to give up hope, but at this point, you got to be realistic about your chances.
Yeah, you know, in a situation like this, down 3 with only 8 seconds left, you're almost in a situation. Coach Key's probably telling his guys to hold and grab, so that it's a dead ball type of foul. You know, so if you're getting screened, hold or grab a guy, so they call that foul before any time ticks off the clock. Hope you get a miss at the free throw line.
Something to keep in mind also, possession arrow in a jump ball situation does point to Rogers, so that could be very big if they're able to tie him up.
And no timeouts left either. So Central, same situation here. You got to get the ball in bounds because you have no timeouts.
Kendall Marshall will trigger in. He's able to get it inbound to Norrells, who's immediately fouled by Fitzpatrick. And this will be 2 shots for Jonzell Norrells.
Norrells 52% free throw shooter on the year. So, you know, I mean, 50-50. We'll see what happens here. An interesting thing, a lot of times you tell kids not to step to the line until you get the basketball. Kind of freeze yourself, loosen yourself up, and step to the line.
Norrells 4 of 6 from the foul line today. And he misses the first one. Well, that's been the kind of night for both teams in this one. They're going to play to the end. No timeouts again for either team. Second one up is good. Clutch free throws for Norrells.
And that's the ball game because they can't stop the clock. So no matter what happens here, time's over, it's ball game.
Final seconds as it goes out of bounds. It'll be Central Catholic basketball. The Fighting Irish with an amazing effort tonight, able to come down from as many as 17 to this situation now where they're up 4 with just 1.5 seconds to go.
Yeah, and again, you know, Rogers can't stop the basketball. So had that 3 even gone through, made it a 1-point game.
And that will do it. An impressive showing from the Central Catholic Fighting Irish. 42-38 the final score. They're able to beat the Rogers Rams in this Division I sectional semifinal game. The Fighting Irish improved to 14-9 on the season. The Rogers Rams dropped to 10-12 on the season. Their year is done. As for Central Catholic, they move on to play Northview on Friday night. That'll be a big one. How do you see that one early on?
You know, it'll be interesting. They showed no quit here. You know, they could have easily rolled over and just packed it in. Juniors with the one senior not ready to hang it up. Great job to them.
Quickly, your thoughts on Rogers and an excellent season.
You know, great season. Again, all juniors, only one senior. So they are all coming back. There's a lot of light there, a lot of future.
42-38 the final score. The Central Catholic Fighting Irish are moving on in the Division I playoffs. They will play Northview on Friday. For Terry Shadle and the entire BCSN crew, I'm Mike Lissette. Have a great night.